Bust it.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Hello and welcome to Political Platform. My name is Amechi Anokwe. Now on this program, I will give you the latest reports, followed it up with analysis on topical issues happening in the country and sometimes even beyond the shores of the country. If everything went according to the plans of the judiciary yesterday, former President Goodluck Jonathan would be standing in the witness stand to, of course, testify in the case the EFCC instituted against the former spokesperson of the PDP, Olisa Metua. Not just him, Sambo Dasuki, former National Security Advisor, whose name has been ringing bells over alleged disbursement of money meant for the prosecution of the insurgency war in Nigeria, northeast part of the country, to some politicians. This will be historic. It was former President Obasanjo that voluntarily opted to become a witness in a panel, the Oputa panel he set up, a panel that tried to reconcile Nigeria. And if, of course, the court succeed, we'll see a former president give witness in court. Quite historic. The minor gate is continuing, and the APC, the ruling All Progressive Congress, the party, spoke up yesterday condemning that development, saying it is an embarrassment to itself and to every other Nigerian, and joined other voices asking the president to indeed fish out those that were responsible for this plot to return a fugitive to public service with promotion and make sure that they are punished accordingly. And the PDP says no microzoning of its chairmanship. There were pressures on the National Caretaker Committee to indeed take a decision that the zoning of the chairmanship, earlier considered to the south, should be further narrowed down to a specific geopolitical zone. But Ahmed Makarfi, in a meeting with 8 of the aspirants, yesterday said it is not under their purview to do so. 8 persons jostling to become the next PDP chairman. We shall be giving you their names. Adebayo Abodure is with me in the studio this morning.
Thank you, Amishi. I think one thing that that worry me for now over the MAINA'S gate is the typical way we react to issues in Nigeria. After condemnation, then it will be followed by lamentation, and after that,
some probes,
and then we not hear anything. I hope we not end this matter with condemnation, with lamentation, and then a probe. The House of Reps said they will look into the matter. The Senate said they will look into the matter. We hope at the end of the day that there will be no cover-up. Anybody, no matter whose horse is God, must be made to face the music over this issue because it's a national embarrassment. The National Committee will be worried that the kind of anti-corruption crusade we've launched in the country, and whether it will yield result or will not yield result the way and manner it is handled. And I do hope that this will probably be an exception where the nation will come out for the first time to punish those who are involved in this scam.
Well, kudos to the APC for breaking the ice. A ruling party criticizing itself. It tells you that indeed this is a party that is ready to accept mistakes and, of course, take corrections. Good one there, if you ask me. But first, let's hear from you. Let's see some of the emails we have fished out from our email platform. But that will be before we go on a short break. Please don't get away.
Bust it.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Welcome back from the break, and it's the mail segment. I'm Amaka Okoro.
I'm Asati Yari. Welcome.
We'll begin with a reaction to yesterday's interview with the Minister of Transport on the platform, and it's coming from Innocent Imasao from Lagos State. The mail reads, I was alarmed yesterday at your interview with Rotimi Amechi, particularly his low quality of response to the closure of Maritime Academy Oron. How can you close down a school for 2 years just to engage qualified teachers, qualified students, and good buildings? I also find immoral his throwing of debts at the former rector, now late, especially as he is no longer around to defend himself. I think the issue is the funds that flows from Nimasa to the academy. Is somebody looking for campaign funds? God save Nigeria.
More reactions. Monday, in Abuja says, your interview with the Minister of Transportation, Honorable Rotimi Amechi, yesterday was very educative and an eye-opener to say the least. Undoubtedly, this government is working hard to deliver on its promises. But as a keen observer, information managers of this administration have really not lived up to expectation. Hence, some people are oblivious of what the government has done and still doing. This has given rise to misinformation and rumors all over, as observed by the minister. So I challenge them to up their game by keeping Nigerians abreast of government activities and programs. The ongoing road projects across the country are massive, capital-intensive, and very laudable. Efforts should be intensified to ensure they are completed on schedule. I commend the crew for inviting the Minister of Transportation to the platform. Please extend same invitation urgently to the Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Minister of Finance, Health and others to come in order to educate Nigerians on what they are doing in their various ministries via your auspicious and vantage medium that commands a wide listening audience. God bless Nigeria.
Still on Amechi's interview, Rauf Adex in Abuja has this to say. The invitation of the Right Honorable Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, to the platform yesterday is a commendable step that deserves another. The question posed by members of the crew and the answers provided by the minister really cleared a lot of doubts and fears on the reports relating to the ministry, especially the proposed loans for the nation's rail development, and also insights on how the administration of President Buhari intends to network rail lines across Nigeria. I want to urge the platform to keep inviting these ministers to tell Nigeria how far they are taking the country to. God bless Nigeria.
Christy Victor in Abuja says, Dear crew, I listened carefully and with great interest to the interview you granted the Honorable Minister of Transport. When I heard him speak, I feel for this great nation. Look at the way he began by defending MAINA'S issue and Mr. President's slow actions, in most cases, leaving the question posed at him. If the reactions he gave for closing the Maritime Academy is genuine, then what are they waiting for? To close down the health, education and power sector, where it is obvious that nothing is working. Our leaders should please have the interest of this nation at heart and stop politicizing everything. God bless Nigeria.
And Jide Sunday from Pape in Abuja titles this one as MAINA'S disappearance. The mail reads, Dear political platform crew, I wish to know why MAINA can appear and disappear at will without being arrested. Does he not have a bank account from which he spends money from? Was his BVN not captured? Do these law enforcement agencies not know his associates and friends who can give answers to his whereabouts? I think our government is at it again, taking the good people of this country on a long ride. Anyone who knows where he is hiding and does not give useful information that will lead to his arrest should be prosecuted. Any property where he's found should be forfeited as a punitive measure. Thank you. And that will be it on today's mail segment. Keep sending your contributions to us. Send them to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Busted.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much for remaining with us. We told you earlier that indeed the APC spoke up under MAINA Gate the position of the Attorney General and of course the Minister of the Interior are two ones that indeed Nigerians are saying they are the ones that plotted this. The PDP called for their sack. The National Assembly members, both chambers set up ad hoc committee to indeed take a look at, of course, this development. They are saying indeed there is need to punish those involved. A report from the head of service was dropped with the presidency some 2 days ago. The question many Nigerians, including some of the males who have received, are asking is, how will the president handle this? Yes, he had asked the head of service to disengage Abdul Rashid Mina from office, but what about those that plotted it? Would this matter go the way of the issue of the suspended AGF and DG NIA? Some people are even saying that the moves to indeed separate the office of the Attorney General from the Minister of Justice is one that this situation has again thrown up. That you don't need a politician to serve as Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. A politician, they say, will always dance to politics and will be amenable to influence and, of course, manipulations. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General is so critical to every government that is so close. Is like the chief legal advisor to the president. In the Federal Executive Council, in the council chambers, he sits directly to the immediate left of the president, always trying to guide the president on what actions to take or not to take. The man at the center of this, Abubakar Malami, has says he will speak up, that the National Assembly's committee, when they invite him, he will really open up and tell the whole Nigerians what really happened. And he believes whatever he did was in the interest of justice and fairness.
Well, I think we will wait for those probe. And if you look at the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, is the only constitutional cabinet member recognized by the Constitution. So it's not just a position that should just be handled by on partisan line. It's a position that it should be in a manner that they will defend the law of the country. And separating the two offices, I think it's now becoming very, very obvious that it's one move that the nation should take. We can have a Minister of Justice who could be a political appointee, but we could have an Attorney General who will essentially be the law officer of the Federation as recognized by the Constitution. And the same thing will also apply to those in the states. I think now that that issue was shut down at the level of the constitutional amendment in both the Senate and House of Rep, and I think that issue should be revisited. We need an attorney general that will defend the law of the country, not an attorney general that will toe partisan line.
An attorney general that will be a technocrat, a seasoned legal mind, who will look at issues that the way judges do, and of course take decisions. Let the Minister of Justice be the appointee of the president and continue to advise the president. Because this the whole issue originated from what we have gathered already, an advisory from the office of the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, directing the other agencies involved, the Federal Civil Service Commission, the Office of the Head of Service, to really institute this process. And we have put the question to them, if you knew it was a wrong process, why did you go ahead to do it? They would always tell you, their hands are tied. How can you say no to an Attorney General? But some people insist that it is the duty of officers to remind their superiors that they are progressing in error when they are taking the wrong steps in the right direction. Did they do these things? Do they have the courage to do it? These are some of the issues. But we hope that we all learn from all this, and we await the probe of the two chambers of the National Assembly. The president is back, and we continue to pray that indeed he will quickly study that head of service report and take a quick action, and not, of course, go the way of the other reports submitted to him by the vice president on Babashir Lawal allegation. Yeah,
yesterday was the PDP was full of activity yesterday. 2 meetings took place. The caretaker committee, headed by Senator Ahmed McCarthy, had a meeting with those seeking to occupy the prime position, the #1 job in the party, and that is the office of the national chairman of the party. And yesterday, it became very clear that eight big names, formidable in their own right, are actually jostling for that position. And the largest number of them is from the southwest. But what one has to commend Ahmed McCarthy that PDP is going back to how it started. If you recall in 1978, 79, when the presidency was zoned to the south, and it was not just zoned to the southwest, even though there was a deliberate move to pick somebody from the southwest then. But the totality of it was that it was zoned to the south. And so you have aspirants from virtually almost all the southern states. You have people from the southeast, you have people from the south, you have people from the southwest, and virtually Olusegun Obasanjo, retired general then, got the ticket. So, and I think that is precisely what Ahmed McCarthy was explaining yesterday, that micro-zoning will not be encouraged by the party. But if at the level of the aspirants, if they can settle for one of them and they agree on it and it does not bring rancor, then the party will have no other option to accept. But the party will not impose that kind of policy.
Because it's that there was some pressures on the National Caretaker
but it's flowing from
sub-zone the chairmanship.
No, there was actually a meeting of some southern leaders of the party, and at that level, it was agreed that the southwest should produce the chairmanship position should come from the southwest. But that meeting was not an organ of the party, so their decision cannot be imposed on the party. And if you look at the race so far, I think the southeast they are strategic in their moves. There's no candidate from there. It's eventually shows that they are gunning for maybe the vice presidential slot, and that is why you are not seeing anybody from. And by the time the chairmanship candidate will probably emerge, they will probably be able to negotiate that. Look, we did not join that race, but this is what we are interested in. And the names of those who came yesterday,
eight of them
include media broadcast magnate Raymond Dokwesi,
who's celebrating his 66th
birthday today.
So congratulations to him.
And he's picking the nomination form this morning. And then you have Uche Secondus, two-time chairman of
Deputy National Chairman.
No, two-time chairman of Rivers State chapter of the party, and then later deputy chairman and acting chairman of the party.
At the center.
At the center, we also have Tawhid Adedoja, a professor who was a minister in the Jonathan administration. You have Bode George, a one-time military governor of Old Ondo State and later deputy national chairman of the party. And then we have Rashid Ladoja, one-time governor of Oyo State. And one interesting thing yesterday was that, he has just rejoined the party from Accord Party. He was granted waiver yesterday at the National Executive Committee meeting of the party that took place. And then you have Jimmy Agbaje, who was the governorship candidate of the party in Lagos State in 2015. You have Tunde Adeniran, former Minister of Education, former ambassador, who served under the Obasanjo regime. And then you have Gbenga Daniel, former governor of Ogun State. Formidable people in their own rights. And so, if all of them go into the race, although there are talks, maybe probably it will be narrowed down, but each and every one of them, as we start picking forms this morning, and we watch closely who will step down for who, and on what condition will they step down for one another.
There's still time for meetings, compromises, house tradings, stepping downs are not ruled out, but all the 8 appear very serious. 8 of them, very many number. It reminds me of Anambra State, where you have 37 candidates going for the
just one governorship seat
election. They say the more the merrier in democracy, and of course we are talking of expanding the political space, making it more inclusive, and of course it's one that will indeed throw up a lot of interest.
Yeah, it is. It will show up a lot of interest, and the convention itself has been fixed for December 9. And so in Abuja, at Eagle Square, which is gradually becoming the democracy square in Nigeria, that is where the delegates will converge and then elect a new leaders. And of course, there are also interests. Although the focus mainly is everybody is talking about the chairmanship position, there are other positions too that you have is being keenly contested. For instance, the National Publicity Secretary, for instance, you have 5 journalists who are members of the PDP. They are already in the race. And then you have others who are not, who who are not journalists who are also seeking the position. You have the former minister of national planning under former President Goodluck Jonathan, Professor Abubakar, whose banners are all over the party secretariat yesterday. And you also have other people jostling for other key positions. And so it's going to be a keen contest at the end of the day. By the time the delegates converge on Abuja to seek to elect new leaders for the party ahead of 2019 general election.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan said, apart from the chairmanship of a party, the other critical position, very strategic, is the National Publicity Secretary position. That may explain why so many of them, about 5 of them, are interested.
More than five journalists, including others, are already in the race. And the other position that are also very, very important, particularly National Organizing Secretary, is the one that will supervise either the selection or the election of the flag bearers of the party. And then and the issue of imposition in the past should probably guide the party in who will probably occupy that position of National Organizing Secretary. It's a key position that could make or mar the party if you don't have the right person there who will ensure level playing field for those who will just do for the tickets of the party in 2019.
2019. Of course, there is horse trading. A lot of activities. You mentioned Professor Abubakar, one of the front runners, who says he has all the experience. A former minister, he says it is not indeed a position for the faint-hearted. There is one that demands for courage from those that will indeed take the battle to the APC come 2019. But Adebayo Abodure talked about journalists also being in the race. Kola Olobondiyan, one of them, our friend. We have him on the line now. Hello and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Doctor.
So how's the campaign been? What is it like so far?
Well, so far we are talking to stakeholders on the need to put in somebody who has got the experience, who has demonstrated it. Because the Nigerians are not going to give PDP a learning curve any longer. I believe that all we need to do is to put our house in order and to put people who've got the experience, professionals, technocrats, who know how to run things and get things done properly. Put them in the office and let them run the party. That is my message to the stakeholders I've been talking to.
Yeah, it's a good thing you are appreciating the role that the National Public Secretary is expected to play against the background that former head of state Absalami said that it's unfortunate that we don't have a vibrant opposition in the current democracy in the country, particularly during this current dispensation, and that a publicity secretary that probably emerge is expected to play that key role. Is there any move by all of you? Because from the names that were bandied around yesterday at the party secretariat, there are 5 of you who are professional journalists, and you are going to face about 3 others who are not journalists.
Yes, I believe that the job should be left for journalists who are tested and who have carried out responsibilities in the purview of media and publicity, and who have made a success of it. And I believe that I can't as one. I have demonstrated my capacity, and it is known to Nigerians. I have run office of the President of the Senate, the number 3 citizen for 8 years without crisis. And I believe that I can take the PDP messages to Nigerians. I don't think that we should go and hire people who are going to hire others. I don't think the party needs that now. I think the party should get unsteady and go into the race. Ex-President Jonathan also mentioned that critically. He emphasized the fact that we need a chairman and a public secretary that is vibrant, that is accessible, and that can speak to his colleagues. And, we are not in government. The party is not in power. So there's no room for whether you have money. What you have to depend on as the public secretary now is your contact in the media. And if you talk about traditional media or you talk about new media, I have run them. I have been in charge of that.
The position has been considered to the North Central. And there are talks about a consensus candidate for the chairmanship. All of you aspiring for the publicity secretary. Are you also thinking of a consensus candidate stepping down for one candidate?
Well, I think the stakeholders will have to decide. We will come about to decide that. when we get to the heat of the race. I think people are expressing interest as we speak now, but we aren't at the heat of the race itself. But I believe that though the position is going to the North Centre, other geopolitical zones must also be interested in who speaks for them. You understand? So it's not just that, oh, okay, it's the zone to North Centre, you go and get a candidate or you go and bring up somebody who does not have the access to the media, who does not even understand how the media works itself. This is not the time. I think what PDP needs now is to get somebody who's got a contact, who's got a vibrancy, who knows how it works to carry out the message of the party. But it's not an executive position. It's not a position where a big man sits on the chair. We are going into the party should go into the 2019 election prepared. And we should have a public secretary who does not need to spend so much money to reach out to his colleagues.
If you take a look at the past publicity secretaries of the PDP, we have not seen much of career journalists. We have seen technocrats. We have seen professors sometimes. We have also seen politicians handle that position.
Yeah, except for the pioneer national public secretary of the party.
The public secretary, yes, I remember Senator Okon from I think from
Annette Okon.
Yeah.
Yes, Annette Okon is the only career person who has been allowed to run the affairs of the party. For instance, I believe that if you put in a professional, if you put in a technocrat who has operated within the media context in a national polity, I think that would be the best for PDP.
Okay,
and I think
I'm
qualified to do that.
We'll have to leave it here, but must thank you so much for joining us, Scholar Lobondi, a journalist and a friend. I wish you luck in your endeavors. The much we can take on today's edition of a political platform. Thanks for being part of it, but send your mails, please. The issues we have raised there, or the topical issues developing in the country, add your voice to the national discourse. Maybe yours may be the solution. On behalf of Adebe Abodri and the production crew, my name is Amici Anokwe.